Madrika is the strongest storm in the world right now, with winds of 70 miles per hour and a pressure of 986 millibars in the Arabian Sea. It's at 20.2 degrees north, 63.5 east at 8 p.m. local time in Oman. The CDPS looks for a potential landfall near Duqm on the coast of Oman, September 24th. Stage 1 though on the CDPS, so fairly low at this point. The main threat, I would say, is probably going to be rainfall, which could reach 2 inches. Stage 1, minor effects anticipated. It is a sparsely populated part of Oman that the storm is likely to strike in the next 2 days. Here's its wind field, also quite tiny, but with winds of 70 miles an hour, very close to hurricane equivalent status. It's currently 298 miles from Masira, 378 from Duqm, 380 from Ras Madrika, and 472 from Lakabi further south, 652 from Salalah. The storm is likely could affect all of those places along the way. Cyclone watch we've put into effect here for parts of southern Oman. This is mainly just a guide to show you the areas that are likely to be affected, that could be affected by cyclone conditions by the storm the next 3 days. Rainfall expectations, so you can see the track of the storm quite clearly there on those rainfall expectations over the next 7 days. We only need the first 2 or 3 days of that loop though. Moves inland, delivers 2 to 3 inches of rain in parts of the coastline there. Once it moves inland, the rainfall really dies away very quickly, as you'd imagine, moving over the deserts of the Arabian Peninsula, so the storm's moisture will completely be devoured rather quickly when it does move inland. But when it does make landfall, that will be the point where the storm will be at its most dangerous and could even be of hurricane equivalent strength. Sea surface temperatures fairly warm, 27, dropping a little bit to 26 when the storm nears the coast. Inland temperatures well into the 40s over the desert, as you'd expect. Here's the forecast wind field then. You can see it there progressing through the Arabian Sea, not particularly clearly on this imagery admittedly, but it does move inland and then it weakens substantially as it does so. Tropical storm landfall on the cards there by the looks of things, but the model might not have caught up completely yet to the storm's intensification that has just occurred in the last 6 to 12 hours. So I think it will be more apt to say that you could see high-end tropical storm conditions affecting the area unless it collapses as quickly as it strengthens. Chances of tropical storm force winds: 40% at Masira Island, 55 at Duqm, 55 at Ras Madrika as well, 30% further south in Lakabi, and 10 in the large city of Salalah. This is what the models are saying. Again, they might be a little bit slow to catch up to what the current situation is. I don't think they're that far behind, but none of them predicting a hurricane equivalent storm, interestingly. Wind shear is going to remain fairly low, 10 to 15 knots. Sea surface temperatures fairly good, but it will start to decrease, and relative humidity is fairly low. Despite that, the storm's been looking pretty good on satellite imagery. Here's the visible today. You can see potential eye feature developing on the visible there. So that's certainly interesting. It's moving fairly quickly along the Arabian Sea as well on this imagery. This is a 12-hour loop, so it's moved pretty far in that time. And if you extrapolate that movement, and maybe you could say it'll be just another 24 hours before it strikes the coast of Oman. The banding from the storm just about to reach the coast already. The main bulk of the storm still way offshore as we look into the water vapor imagery there as well. Massive amounts of dry air you'd expect once the storm pushes on further west. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's at Force 13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.